In today's episode, we are talking about face angle. Should the club face be open? It's a great question. So often when we hear players talk to other players about bunker shots, they always tell them, just open your face more, just open the face more. Just set up and open the face. All right, so why does everyone think we need an open face in the bunker? So in this perspective right here, back to the camera, this is pointing right at the camera, that is square. If we then turn this way, and from the player's perspective, for a right-handed golfer, it's aimed out to the right, that club face would be open. All right, so now we need to say, why is everyone telling us to open the club face? All right, it is a great question, and let's get to the bottom of this. So we know that if the club face is open, then that will provide greater resistance from the club digging into the sand. All right, now that is good if we have very soft beach-like sand where every swing you make, the club dives down too deep into the sand. But in a scenario where we have fairly firm sand, you can imagine that if we have the club face open and it's set not to go down into the sand, and we have sand conditions that the club doesn't want to go down into the sand, then naturally the setup that we're creating may be hurting our performance. All right? So if you have soft beach-like sand where when you make a golf swing, that sand wedge dives deep into the sand, then by opening the club face, it will help create greater resistance on the bottom of that club, where as it comes down, it'll slide down through the sand before exiting. But if you're in a scenario where it's fairly firm, or when you dig in, you can't dig in that much with your feet, then what you have is you actually have a sand that is not going to allow the club to dig deep. And so instead of opening the face, you want to play with a more square club face, because that leading edge right there, as that hits the firmer sand, it will help dig into the sand. All right, so if you have firm sand conditions, play your bunker shots with a square club face, that leading edge can dig into the sand. And if you have softer beach-like sand conditions, open that club face to help you get the right amount of depth. Again, as we talked about in the first episode, we need a couple inches of depth because we're always trying to move the sand and then move the ball. Even if it's really hard, we're not trying to pick the ball clean out of the bunkers. Thanks for being with us for this second episode in improving your bunker play. Go ahead and click on the third video now so we can keep your improvement in the bunker. Thanks for being with us. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, click that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get all of our notifications so you don't miss any of our awesome content. Thanks for being with us and being part of our community.